But there's a limit. When I'm not bitching, but simply making an observation.
Okay.
And now I will leave. You're welcome.
Good, bye.
And if you would like, I'll teach you a little more so you can actually learn how to teach a freaking class. Because since I got here, I've done nothing but read packets. So don't try and take credibility for teaching me jack.
Just go. Bye. Close the door.
Little baby.
Wow, that was very interesting. So that particular segment or debate issue was on once again a website where I put the link down below, and this guy was basically just going off on a rant tangent in a high school. He was basically talking about education and how teachers just basically give out packets and don't teach. And I'm not here to debate that, whether that's right or wrong. You know, that's based off of the person and the individual who judges that. But I thought this video, it struck my attention because, you know, when I was in school, you know, I kind of had the same view as well as this guy said, you know, that teachers would just hand out packets and just hand out homework and think that that was actually teaching. And it just kind of really affected me growing up because I thought that, you know, that was the way to teach. And then I did a little research, and that doesn't actually teach you anything. It just teaches you kind of just memorization skills. And you can say memorization is actually learning because you memorize it, but you don't really maintain that type of stuff unless you have an interest in it. You'll look at it, you know, study it for the test. After that, goes out the window, and you do not study it ever again. And I think that, now I know I said I wouldn't talk about it, so obviously I'm getting ready to contradict myself, but I think that that is a problem. And I think that the guy does have a point. You know, when you give children and kids just packets to read, don't teach anything, and just sit up in the class and just do this all the time and just go over a few stuff from the packet, that's not really teaching. You know, and I think that's kind of what's wrong with our education system. You know, it's just strictly test-based, and test doesn't show what you know. It shows what you can memorize. And you can say that memorization is a form of learning the information, but do you learn it after? Do you maintain that information after you take a class? Most people don't. It goes out the window. You know, I can't tell you what I've learned from literature. I remember a couple of stories like of mice and men, that stuff, but I don't remember half of that stuff because I didn't go back and listen to it. Because our whole format within the education system is so flawed. And, you know, something just has to be done. New steps have to be implemented. You know, we have to have more tests besides these CRCTs and stuff like that. We need to have more one-on-one time with kids. You know, if you guys have seen the movie called Freedom Writers, that lady took it upon her idea. She took it upon herself to work with these kids. Even outside of class, she was going to children's houses, helping them study, doing different formats and stuff like that, getting them involved in stuff that was going on in the real world and incorporating it in the class. And it helped the students. They passed. They graduated. You know, some of them maybe went back to the streets, got locked up, but for the most part, they stayed on track. They did what they had to do, and they were successful. And that's what has to be done. I can't reiterate this anymore. This guy stuck up. He said what he had to say, and it was legitimate. It was a legitimate argument. That's why a teacher wanted him to get out of class. People were laughing in class. They were saying like he doesn't know what he's talking about, but those kids were young. They didn't know what was going on. You know, they probably think it's a joke. You know, but it's really not a joke. It's serious, and I'm glad the guy stuck up and said what he had to say, because if he didn't say what he had to say, it wouldn't have got this much traffic. And so many kids don't say anything, and that's the problem. They don't say anything, and they think that school is supposed to be like this, and it doesn't have to be like this. People can band together to create change, and we can not one person can start it, but you need a group to implement it. And if we have a group of people, like-minded individuals, who believe in this concept and who want this to happen, we can get it done. But it needs to start with a group of people, and we need to change our educational system because, you know, when the CRCT scandal happened, a lot of people were saying, well, why did it happen? The reason why it happened was because there were people from the higher ups were saying, well, you know, if they don't meet the test scores, the school is going to get shut down. So the only way they could do it was to lie about the test scores and the false advertise what they really made on the test. What they really made on the test. And people say, well, what am I supposed to do? My kid's not making... You have to implement new strategies for these kids. That's the only way that they're going to be successful. Only way they're going to be successful. And the kids, just like you said, the kids are the future generation. And if you don't work with the kids, just because you get a paycheck for $35,000 or whatever, how much you get paid, and you ain't helping the kids, you ain't doing your job, and you shouldn't have been fit for a teacher. You should have not been fit for a teacher or whatever profession you in. Because if you're not helping the kids and you're a teacher, you don't need to be a teacher. You need to do something else. Go into another field. Work behind a desk. Don't teach because you're not helping these children. You're hindering them and you're putting them back out in these streets and they're going to do the same thing. They're not going to be focused and they're probably going to end up in jail. They're probably going to end up in jail. And this just isn't a black thing. People think it's just a black African-American thing. It's not. This is dealing with all races. All races go through this. You just don't hear about it that much. Black communities are black people are the one who was being pushed out more. My little thing went off. Hold on, let me get back. Yeah, my little thing. Yeah, so little screensaver came up. So we have to start implementing new strategies for our kids, for our future generation. We have to. Because if we don't, we're only hindering ourselves. Oh my gosh, I mean, I can go on for 5 more minutes talking about this. But you know, this was a good video. Everybody watch this video. Share this video wherever you can. Like the video, comment, rate, subscribe. You tell me your thoughts about this education system. Is it flawed? Do you think it's good? Or do you not want to commit change to it? What do you think? Anyway, guys, I'll check you guys in another video. Gosh, this video was so impactful. I'll see you guys later in another video. Peace. Sayonara.